Ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 week away from the CWL Dallas Open, the first major open LAN event of the Call of Duty World War II season.
Can't wait.
Honestly, for me, it could be the most viewed and biggest Call of Duty event outside of a Champs ever.
If the community reaction and interest in whatever, game battles, the game, buying spectator passes, team passes, it looks that way, certainly. Well,
It's going to be lit, as the kids say. We've already done our Pool A and Pool B predictions and thoughts. If you've missed those, go look somewhere on my channel and you'll find them. Thank you again for all the support of these videos, guys. We've been crushing across the board with the amount of comments and the interaction, and I've been getting tweeted a ton asking questions about
that's great.
certain things. So it's been a blast to make
Thank
them.
you.
See, you're becoming appreciative of them, buddy.
No.
No, okay, well, you know what, I appreciate you all. But either way, today we're talking about Pool C. So, we haven't really declared a pool of death yet. Will Pool C be the one? We'll find out in this video. But Maven, who are our 4 teams we're going to see in Pool C?
Alright, so I'm going to just read them. Team Caliber, Kenny, Theory, Accuracy, and Chino. Red Reserve from EU, which was rated Joe, Zero, and Josh. Rise Nation, Looney, Felony, Aqua, and TJ Halley. And then Mind Freak, the one team from APAC, Buzzo, Dens, Shux, and FIDA. So the only region is obviously going to have, or only pool is going to have all 3 regions. Considers one APAC team, so a little diversity here.
Yeah, so finally we see all 3 regions represented here. Mind Freak, the leading team in overall pro points in the entire world right now. Coming into this one, obviously, their pool from APAC, though, their seeding adjusted now into this pool, into Pool C. So, in these videos, we've kind of gone from bottom to top. I think we're going to start right with that, and again, that is Mind Freak. This team, for me, made some questionable decisions in Infinite Warfare that I think still a lot of people are wondering, was it the right play? And I think a lot of it comes down to Excite versus that whole Buzzo. Who should they have kept? Who should they have, maneuvered around? Because yes, I think Dens picking him up was probably the right play, but who was this the right 4th to have?
I guess I'm not concerned about Buzzo nearly as much in boots on the ground. Do I think COD is COD, and most players will adapt fine? Sure, but there is, I guess, a little bit more of a quick reaction, gun skill type thing needed for Jetpack COD. You have so much more to watch, and did not suit him at all. So I think he'll be better off here now. The thing I'm most interested with Mind Freak, and I touched on it really quickly at the draw show, but for those of you that don't know, APAC used to, Australia, New Zealand used to be entirely search and destroy. They didn't play a variant. There was no respawn, nothing.
Yeah.
And when they would show up to champs, they would steamroll everyone in search and destroy. If I remember correctly, like the 2 teams at Ghost that both got top 8, they didn't even drop a search. It was unbelievable. They blew everyone out of the water. Now it was tough for that specialty to kind of shine through in Jetpack Call of Duty because at times it was glorified TDM in the sense 4 people would hit something. There was strategy, obviously, but it was more just trade effectively and you were fine.
Yeah.
It's very early for this game, but you have to think it's going to be a little bit different and more strategic for search and destroy. I know the maps are small, I know it plays fast, but it's not Jetpack Call of Duty. So I'm kind of curious if maybe they can get back to that. They won't have the element of surprise. They'll actually play North American and European teams all year, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious if maybe they're going to surprise some people.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, especially from the APAC region, are that the only APAC team that starts in pools. Any of the teams represented at the event will have to go through literal hell in the open bracket. I mean, there's no other way to put it with how many teams are in there. But yeah, Mind Freak, they're the only team in the world also that won all 3 of their region's 2Ks that counted towards pool play. So, I mean, dominant in their region, never been the question. Can they transfer it over? It's the same story with this Mind Freak team. That's where we stand with them right now. Let's move on to Rise Nation. Looney, Felony, Aqua, and TJ Halley. And again, this is the core part of the team that won the first event of the Call of Duty World League last year in Infinite Warfare at the CWL Vegas Open. Now with TJ Halley on his team instead of Facento. For me, it's TJ Halley's return to competitive Call of Duty for real, like on the main stage. How does he perform under the lights again? Is this the right team for him?
When this team is at their best, they shine in search and destroy. They're very good. And the Facento, used to be their shot caller in that, but I don't think TJ Halley slows them down in search whatsoever.
No.
If they played good search at the first event, they can win a couple respawns. I don't see why they wouldn't go far. When you take a look at their 2K performances, they beat enemy in the first one, I think ultimately knocked out by Enigma 6, and then the next couple of them was just running into Optic. That basically took them out.
Seems like a thing for a lot of...
Yeah, well, when they're winning them so frequently. I've got high hopes for him. You know, I was one of the few idiots that was calling Rise Nation to do well in champs. It sounds like a truck.
I don't know what the hell
ran over
outside.
Probably a trash.
Is there someone jumping up and down on him? Are we safe?
Of course, it stopped right outside here. Okay, well, what the hell were we talking about?
We were talking about Rise Nation.
Something with Rise.
TJ Haley not slowing them down.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was one of the few idiots that called them top 4 champs, even though they had like an abysmal year last year. Because I was like, they're champs players, man. They come up clutch to play on the world's biggest stage. They end up pulling it off. I think that might give. I know it's been a while, it's been like 3 months, but maybe just some confidence coming in this year after a lackluster IW year.
You're still riding that wave.
Is there any other way for ride? You're not riding from Vegas last year.
Hey, listen, no, that train has died out, I can promise you that. For Rise Nation, for me, still with this core 3, it's still a coin flip. It's just like, they're either going to do really well and make it to like top 3 or 4 Championship Sunday, or they're going to get top 16 or top 12.
And you know, I don't know exactly what he does with the organization, but I know Pac-Man has worked, I believe, with Rise Nation for quite some time. He is one of the greatest minds in the history of Call of Duty, so I expect him to play a big part.
You both should share something.
Yeah, we're hella ball.
God, did he just smite me down by making that joke? Pac-Man looking over us all. Joking me out right now. Let's move on to the second seed in this pool. Red Reserve, Rated, Joe, Zero, Josh. I think for many people, undisputed, no doubt, second best team in Europe.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the 2Ks because it was kind of interesting. They basically they match up with Splice in the first couple, right? I think they get blown out 3-0 the first final. Second final, they return the favor, they 3-0 Splice. Yeah. So they kind of expected them and Splice go back and forth. But what was really interesting for me was the third 2K, because, you know, we talked a lot about one of the previous videos how Epsilon almost didn't get in. It was a deep run by Supremacy and Vitality, but really the only reason the French teams, well, I can't remember if it was, I think it was Supremacy. The only reason they got kind of a easier road to that final is actually because Red got knocked out by a Spanish team. So where they would have been the matchup in either round of 8 or the semi-round, they weren't there. It was the Spanish team that you know, Vitality Supremacy ended up beating. So then them getting upset in a huge way is almost the reason Epsilon got screwed. But I thought that was kind of funny, because you look at the bracket, you're like, that doesn't look right. And I'm like, oh, that's because Red's not there.
I remember seeing all sorts of blow up on social media about that one. Rated, who's always very outspoken, most times for the wrong reasons. Getting involved with some of the Spanish players and fans, it was interesting to watch. Either way, a rivalry there. We'll see if that develops into anything as the year goes on. One big thing for me with this team, you know, I'm watching Zero, man. I'm watching Zero. We talk about the chip on his shoulder. I think he wants to face Splice on the main stage more than any team right now.
You should, you know, and there hasn't. I remember, I can't remember if it was Acerto or somebody tweeted about it being a rivalry, and Josh was like, "Oh, there's no rivalry there." Like, blah 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 blah. Like, there automatically is some kind of rivalry when you drop a player of his caliber.
Can I rant for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we want rivalries, people. Sell that. Sell it, Josh. Are you kidding me?
Ham it up a little bit more.
Yeah, there's no rivalry. We're just a boring old matchup. We're all best buddies. No. In the game, you want to tear their throats out. All right? In real life, Maven and I, look at us. We just love each other. But in game, if we're against each other, I hope that man breaks both of his ankles walking back to the setup.
I would never play against you. That was weird. But for this Red team, I have no concern whatsoever about Rated, like from a gameplay standpoint. No concern whatsoever. About Zero, Josh, even, yes, he'll have those double neg games, but I mean, he's going to be the guy getting the hill, the guy maybe pulling flags. Like, there's going to be a lot of dirty work to do, and he's good at it, and he'll have those big games. I guess I'm just wondering if maybe this is a bit of a bounce back year for Joe, just because last year just wasn't good. I mean, I can't think of a single tournament I cast or match I casted of him that he wasn't like double negative and just struggling. Like, he didn't have very many maps that I saw were very strong last year. I guess part of me thinks that maybe this is where he could turn it around a little bit, bring it back. And when he teams with Rated, I mean, you know, he did well. Black Ops 3, I'll sign back in my laptop. Good job.
What the hell are you doing there, buddy? But either way, no. So now we've previewed 3 of the 4 teams so far that we know in this pool. Remember, a team from Open Bracket will be joining into every single pool. We'll see how that shakes things up, and we'll also get into our predictions here. But now, the final team, TK, Fury, Kenny, Accuracy, and Chino. Top 4 lost to Optic in the first 2K. Top 4 lost to LG in the second 2K. Top 2 lost to E United in the final 2K. The worries and questions about the legitimacy of this team came and were probably valid after the first 2K. Then after the second 2K, when they say place top 4 again, people were like, okay, you know, maybe they are the real deal. And then the third 2K happened, people were like, okay, online, these guys are the real deal. I think a lot of people are treating them like E United last year, going into Atlanta, basically saying, are they online warriors, or are they going to be as great as they are online on LAN?
I think this is a pretty cool story, just because if you're a viewer and you have been around, you know, for the long haul, Black Ops 2 or pre-Black Ops 2, then you saw, you know, some of the TK Glory days. You know how important and big this organization was to Call of Duty esports.
Yep.
But if you started watching around, I don't know, AW Black Ops 3, then if you listened to our casting, I mean, they were the butt of many jokes. I mean, they would just recycle the same players. They had no strong finishes whatsoever. They would get steamrolled by any top teams. Yep. They rarely made pool play. It was kind of comical.
And they never had slaying power to match people.
They were streamers and YouTubers for a while. It wasn't even a pro team.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly, that's the way to put it. And this year they finally kind of switched things up. They rebuilt around Theory, who still had, you know, has always had that drive to compete and win. So great, they do that, and then they wound up bringing on, you know, Chino, who's someone that we've seen him play on the biggest of stages before. He's had a couple big performances and clutch plays, and honestly, this game's play style so far looks like it really fits how he likes to play. And then you add in the Freak Kenny alongside Accuracy, who I think for a lot of people, Accuracy is someone that it was like, oh, we've got Accuracy. Oh, anyone is available? Pick them on up. Accuracy's been dropped. That's what it's felt like the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't claim to know Accuracy that well, or I mean, from a gameplay standpoint, yes, personally not really, but neither would Kenny. But like Dylan, Theory, and Chino are just, I guess, two guys I'm rooting for. Like, I just want to see them do well. Specifically Chino, I think I safely say he is one of the, I don't know, just better dudes, kinder souls kind of in the community. Soft-spoken, if you've ever met him, hung out with him, just a really, really nice guy. Yeah. Like, you want to see him succeed.
Oh, for
so
sure.
I'm looking for Team Calorie to get back on the map, and I think it's just a good thing for Call of Duty. It's like, have they ever been as big as like an Optic face? No, they haven't. But it's still like, I don't know, if you're thinking of an NBA team that's one of the top teams, has a huge fan base, it just falls off the map for a couple of years, and they come back in it, I don't know, it just helps. It elevates interest and stuff. Yeah, Celtics, I mean, maybe a little bit too high there, but yes, you know, they're bad for a couple of years, they come back, and it's exciting. Like, they're one of the big brands. You want to see them involved, you want to see them do well. So
I don't want to act like I know sports, but either way, those are the teams in this pool. Now for our predictions. This is the least confident I feel in a first seed so far in a pool. Now, do I love the TK boys, and I think that they've done well so far online? Yes. But could I see a world where Red Reserve and Rise Nation finish top 2 in this pool, or even Mind Freak somehow make some noise? Absolutely.
And these are all, again, tough to call because we don't know who's going to come in from open bracket, obviously. But Pool A was pretty, not easy exactly. With Optic MV, I felt safe about. You know, Pool B, felt pretty good about it. Here, this is where what kind of pool of death is. Because this is, if you're talking about just getting into top 2, this is terrible. This is very scary for any of these teams. Oh God, I already get enough hate for like apparently hating European teams, and I don't. But
Maven hates EU.
I don't.
Put it in the comments.
I don't, but like I feel like it's gonna be TK Rise.
Yeah.
I mean, again, just because Rise like start the year well, they end the year well. I don't think there's gonna be. I don't think TJ Halley's gonna slow him down at all. Sento's a great player, but I think TJ Halley could like be just very, very, very good in the coming years.
Rise Nation first.
Yeah, that's not crazy at all.
Red Reserve second.
And that's not a knock to TK. That's very possible. I mean, it's just we don't have. Whereas Rise, for all these guys, we have a lot to go off on LAN. Same with Red. Like you know the deep runs these guys can do. For the most part, that's just not true of TK. Like we haven't seen this 4-man team play on LAN. We haven't seen any of these players be that successful on LAN in quite some time. I mean, you're talking the best finish for any of these guys. Chino on DT stage 2. Yeah, when they got second to Envy, that was the worst final I've ever cast in my life.
It was.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the most recent strong finish, and that was a complete fluke of a finish in my opinion. Still, because who did Optic lose to that event? I don't even remember.
It was so long.
But yeah. Anyway, that was a weird event. Like the finish just didn't make any sense.
Folks.
So yeah, it's just hard to have faith.
Pool C for me is going to be literally who shows up on the day. Simple as that. Either way, another little video of the books here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like. Let me know your predictions and thoughts in the chat. We'll be sure to read them. Maven, any final thoughts?
I'm incredibly excited. And I've decided that TK is coming out top 2 because what Carmen told me about them when he's played them, he thinks they might be one of the best teams.
So you just changed your prediction on a 9.
Oh, never mind. I already said Red was out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I